Hey guys, Pyker here, and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Reach. As you can see, we have a rocket on the launch pad. I kind of was running out of things to do because we're pretty much just right now we're pretty much sitting on our hands waiting for our moho transfer, which is in about 28 days. So we've got plenty of time to dick around a bit. So basically, what I did is I am designing a shuttle to reach Eve. I unfortunately do not have any fusion or I have fusion engines, but I don't have the amount of fuel that I need to actually have them be a viable source of thrust and whatnot. So I'm just kind of I'm winging it here, and I'm hoping that I could build something that will get to Eve, be able to land, and be able to come back on its own power. So basically, I am building a shuttle, and I am building a transfer rocket with it. This is obviously the transfer rocket. It has a docking port on it, a bunch of lights, solar panels, a little bit of extra life support, and that's pretty much it. It's got 4 nuclear engines on the bottom. Now I'm hoping that I won't need to use any of those to get this thing into orbit, other than like if we're fucking 150 Ks up, we'll be able to just use them just to finish off the orbit that we need. I have our SRBs toned down to about 60%. I have not test flown this yet, so this is the first test flight. So so it may go over well, it may not go over so well. So let's find out together. All right, 60% seems to be good. It might actually be a little too much. Um, yeah, I'm thinking it's a little too much, but we'll see. Can we turn these down now? No, we can't. Damn. I was gonna say if we could turn those down now, that would be awesome, but it's not looking like that's a possibility. So we're just gonna let it go. We're gonna get up to about 5 Ks above the surface, and then we'll start to tip over from there. See what happens. And I apologize for my little weekend hiatus. It was Thanksgiving weekend, Black Friday weekend, Cyber Monday, and all my days off got kind of messed up. So I apologize for the lack of videos for the past couple days, but they will be back in force very shortly. I am having a really hard time tipping this thing over. We're going at such speed that it's not even really letting me. I have a lot of control surfaces on this thing too, so it should let me, and I have a bunch of SAS too. So I am literally just holding down the D button and hoping that I can tip over in time to get this thing into a reasonable orbit. Getting there slowly, hoping that I can just kind of get this thing horizontal so we can use the last bit of the SRBs to get us some orbital velocity here. Okay, so what are we looking at? I don't think we're going to be able to use just the nuclear engines to get us into orbit from here. I'm highly doubting that that's going to be a possibility, but we'll give it a shot. Let's get rid of those. Let's fire our nuclear engines here. Yeah, there's no way that's going to get us into orbit. Ooh, I just set that one aflame. Might have to add. Well, it might either one. Yeah, look at our orbit speed. It's slowing down. I can't even speed it up. Maybe if we wait until we get up a little bit further here. Maybe right about there. And maybe that'll help. It's slowly starting to change, but I honestly don't think that these rockets are going to do it. I mean, obviously, we're not going to burn through a lot of fuel doing this, but at the same time, it's not really giving us the speed that we need to get this thing into orbit. So, maybe if I'm thinking we're going to need to, I really don't want to add engines to this thing to get it into orbit. I wish there was a way that I could cut off the SRBs and then turn them back on. But unfortunately, that is not the case. Maybe if I'm trying to think how I can make this work without having to use any of my actual fuel. How could I get this thing into orbit? Okay, so we're gonna have to revert. I'm gonna turn down the SRBs maybe to 35%. See what that does for us. I'm hoping it'll give me enough control. Let's do 35. Save it. And actually, I want to make a action group for these solar panels too. Clicking on solar panels is so overrated. Alright, save it. Hopefully my game stays stable for this video. I apologize if it doesn't. If it does, if it crashes, I'll just bring you guys back real quick. It won't take that long. Loading, loading, loading. There we go. Alright, good there. Hopefully 35% is enough to get this thing off the ground. Damn! I'll tell you what, these SRBs are freaking amazing. I just want to get this thing into orbit. As soon as we get this thing into orbit, I can launch our shuttle, and we can go from there. I'm actually I think I'm gonna start tipping over now. Try to just a little bit. I'm talking like 5 degrees of a tip here to try to help the trajectory get us into orbit. Still looking good. We're gaining speed. I'm gonna just keep slowly tipping over. Hopefully not enough to rip the top end of this thing off, but enough, just enough to get us close to an actual orbit. I'd rather almost tip over soon, you know, a little bit sooner than I normally would, to try to get the horizontal velocity going instead of the vertical, because the vertical is just taking us straight up, and I really don't want to go straight up. So I'm hoping, in fact, that I'm tipping over now. We should be able to tip over pretty far now. We're in the second layer of the atmosphere, so it shouldn't be that much of an aerodynamic effect on it. We're just going to keep rolling with this, and hopefully it'll work out for us. Alright, we're getting pretty high. Let's see if we can tip this thing over completely. Get the last bit of thrust from the SRBs to get us into orbit. That would be awesome. Nope. What are we looking at now? 94. Okay, so it's a lot lower. Our speed definitely didn't go up. This is going to be a bunch of trial and error, so I'm just... Ooh, no, don't hit the craft. That equals bad. Okay, we are out of the atmosphere. You should stop hitting me now. Can I, like, lightly get away from you? Just don't hit anything. Don't hit anything. Okay, we're clear of it for as far as I can tell. Yeah, it's still not enough. These 4 nuclear engines are not enough to actually get anything into orbit, as far as I can tell anyways. Let's fast forward and see what happens. See how much fuel we end up using. See if this thing will overheat at all. See if we get any speed. It's still going down. Our orbit speed is still going down, which is a bad thing. Now it's leveling off, but it should, like, we're way behind. We've got a lot of fuel, which is good, but we're going to hit our apoapse before we even make a dent in the orbital velocity. How can I make this work? Yeah, we're starting to fall back down now, which is not a good thing. This thing also wants to tip up for some reason. Not sure why that is. Yeah, we're falling down too fast, and we're not gaining enough speed. Okay, so let's go back to the vehicle assembly building and see what we can do to fix that. Oh. Alright, so we've got the SRBs at 30%. That's perfect for the most part. Actually, I might even give them a little bit more. I might give them like 40. Yeah, let's give them 40. Save that. I was even maybe thinking like adding like those little, like how much thrust do these nuclear engines have? They can't have more than, okay, they have 60 each. Okay, so if we get, instead of, oh man, I would really like to just add, you know what? I'm going to try it. Just to see what happens, we're going to try it. We're going to add 4 more SRBs, just a little bit smaller SRBs. And we'll fire those last. so we'll get these down here. And we'll add another one. Okay, so SRBs, which ones do we want is the question. I'm thinking not even really big ones. We just need enough to get us, like, close to orbital velocity. I was even maybe thinking these guys, these Rockomax, solid fuel boosters, but they are pretty weak. 495. What about these guys? Are these big enough or small enough to fit in here? I don't like the way that they're hitting that. Okay, let's move this up a little bit, like there. I just hope it won't blow the wings off. Okay, so we've got 4 more. Let's see what that does. Let's see if that's even possible, because I'm just curious, because I really, really don't want to use any of the actual liquid fuel and oxidizer that we have on this thing. I want to save all of it for our trip to Eve, for our shuttle. Not to mention we're going to have to refuel our shuttle, because we're going to take the shuttle off like a normal plane and try to get it in orbit without too much trouble. Yeah, I think we're going to try this. Let's try this real quick. See what happens. Let's see what happens. Come on now. Load him up. There we go. Alright. Kill that. Turn on our SAS. And let's go from here. Hopefully those SRBs stay on there. This might actually work. It might work. Might work. It's worth a shot. It's worth a shot to save the fuel in the actual transfer rocket. Definitely added a little extra weight. This thing's not accelerating nearly as fast as it did before, but it couldn't have made that much of a difference. Plus, I bumped it up 5% on the thrust limiter. Okay, so we're at 5K. Let's give it a 10% or 10-degree tip, if I can. So we are at speed, so our tail fins are kind of dragging for us. There we go. We'll just keep trying to tip over. Hopefully the top end of this thing will stay together. There we go. It's getting a little bit easier. 20%, 20 degrees rather. Okay, so we're gonna try to tip over as much as possible. Maybe even like 45 degrees until these rockets burn out. There we go. Try to get some height. Where to be at? 71. That's a lot lower than I was hoping. But it is out of the atmosphere completely, so that's one good thing. Okay, can we ditch these without them hitting us? Well, let's give it a shot. Okay, we're good. Maybe if we... No, those are getting far enough away. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, let's get up a little bit higher. And hopefully these SRBs will do the rest of the work for us. Or at least get us damn close. Okay, I think probably right about there. We'll do the trick. Let's tip over. Let's turn our RCS on. Make this a little bit easier. Alright, SRBs, let's see what you got. So it is running directly into our wings, but those wings don't really do us any good right now, so I'm not too worried about it. How much thrust are these putting out? 495. Maybe if we even thrust them with these a little bit, so they burn for a little bit longer. It's not really doing what I want it to do. Definitely helps. Yeah, but that's not enough. That's definitely not enough. Yeah, we're already starting to fall back down. Damn it! Damn it. Alright. let's go back. Vehicle assembly. Let's try her again. Try something different. Maybe even add a little bit bigger of SRBs on it. We could fit some pretty gnarly ones on here, so let's see what we could do with that. See if we could fit, put these up here. Right there. And then we'll, okay, what do we have? We had these ones. Let's throw, I guess let's throw these guys on here and see what happens. How far up are these running? Okay, not very far. Let's grab some aerodynamic stuff so these don't break off. Save that. Okay, that actually should work. Maybe if we, let's throttle these down a little bit too. Let's put them at like 50%. See what that does. All right, we got one more launch. Time for one more launch. Let's see what happens. Ah, all right. I will be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Game decided to take a shit. So we're gonna launch this thing again here. In just a second. Everything looks good. Let's do it. All right. Let's see if we can get this thing into orbit without using our nuclear engines. Hopefully, guys. Hopefully, I'm really hoping here. I'm hoping that this episode won't drag along for too long either. I'm actually hoping that we'll be able to get our typical amount of time in for this episode. This is a good way to blow some time off while we're waiting for our moho transfer. And then once our moho transfer is like good to go, like we're gonna be, I mean, we got another transfer in 69 days from now. So after moho, it'll be like 20. It'll be like another month until we get transfer window with Jewel, which will be interesting to see if I can even reach that place with a with a probe. I'm hoping that I can. But I want to get our SCANsats out there and start scanning some of these planets that we're going to be visiting and make sure that we land in suitable places and we can get an idea of where to land and what's interesting and what might not be interesting and all that fun stuff. And we can figure out where the biomes are and we can gather some science from those said biomes. Alright, guy, we need you to tip over as much as you possibly can right now, and you are not helping me very much. Come on. Come on. There you go. Start going. Just a little bit of that left. And we're out. Crap. How high did we get? 70? 60. Ooh, that's not good at all. Okay, so let's get rid of those and hopefully why are those still staying with me? Get away. Get away from me, please. Oh my goodness. This is going awful. Okay, thank you. Get away. I don't need you around me anymore. Jeez. We're not even like outrunning them. We're actually losing speed right now. What the hell's going on here? We're losing speed ridiculously. What is going on here? This isn't helping at all. It's actually slowing us down. What the hell was that all about? That didn't do anything. It literally did absolutely nothing. Those are bigger SRBs and have, okay. Damn it. All right, I'm gonna figure this out off camera. Next episode, we'll be taking a look at our shuttle, hopefully, and getting that into orbit, and actually hoping to dock with this thing. So I'm going to work on getting this thing into orbit. Until then, we'll look at us. We'll try to get the shuttle up there next episode, and see if we can connect them and see if they're like even if it's even a viable thing to do. If we'll have enough thrust and blah 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 blah. So thank you guys so much for watching. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And yeah, we will continue this next episode. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I will see you all next time.